Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you for introduction. Today we would like to present the life science in the United Arab Emirates, our joint report with Sharjah Research Technology and Innovation Park, and hope that you will enjoy it. And let's start. I represent Deep Knowledge Group, which is a consortium devoted to the longevity industry. And everything we do is to grow and build the longevity community in the world. Basically, we have three pillars on which we stand. The financial pillar, it's our investment activities, analytical subsidiaries, and non-profit approach. Considering the analytical subsidiaries under the longevity industry, we understand there are a bunch of industries and subsectors that allow you to increase your health span, live longer, healthy and wealthy. And for the report, our aging analytics agency that is devoted to aging of population and Sharjah Research Technology Innovation Park together worked on the report on the life science ecosystem in the United Arab Emirates. So in our report, it represents the life science ecosystem, and we can say that life science industry emerged in the United Arab Emirates around 25 years ago. In our report, you can see the landscape of more than 400 companies, more than 90 investors, 15 R&Ds, and as well as government organizations. And I also invite you to read our report and see the interactive mind maps that shows interconnections between different companies. I could say that UAE sets a compelling example of the life science industry in the Gulf Cooperation Council region, and thanks to a national vision of achieving world-class, internationally recognized healthcare infrastructure. The UAE government is committed to continuously strategizing and improving the quality of healthcare and laboratory testing services in the country. To start with, I would like also to speak about the common trends for the life expectancy in the world. First of all, according to UNISTAT, the population growth projection shows the increase of the world population in the next 25-30 years will be primarily due to a gradual increase of young working age population between 25 to 49 and the rapid growth of seniors, people of the 60 plus. By 2050, approximately each third of 10 people will be aged with 50 plus years, and the share of 50 plus population will be 32% of the whole population in the whole world, while young and middle-aged together will constitute around 46%. And by 2100, our shares will be almost aligned, like 40% of the whole population in the world will be 50 plus aged, and 42% will be aged between 15 and 49 years. So we can see that some countries experience a mild increase in the life expectancy together with decreasing birth rate, and the result of growth of working age population. Other countries will face problem of the aging of population. So in this case, we should think about the longevity and the trends and the sets of the industries that would allow us to work with this problem. One more thing that we could say is that currently we have more than 1 billion people in our days aged 60 plus, and they can form the 7th continent of people, and we should think about these people, and we should think about the trends that we will face in the future. So coming back to the UAE, in 2020, life expectancy in birth of the UAE was 78.12 years, and life expectancy at birth of United Arab Emirates is expected to increase by 88.2 years by 2100. So we can see that the same trend appears in this region. Between 2000 and 2019, the average number of expected healthy years in the UAE rose from 63.9 years to 66, and health life expectancy in the region as well was growing, and we can see that the same trend that was approached on the global world appears here. So coming back to the life science industry, we can see that there are three trends that allows to emerge this industry. The first one is population aging, which was presented in the previous slides. So we can see that medical services are in high demand as the world's population ages, and this trend will even emerge. The new machines and drugs, new remedies are being developed to meet previously unmet health requirements, stimulation additional technology advancements, and pharmacological development. And the third trend is patient centricity. A shift to customized healthcare is underway, and platforms to deliver it to patients literally at their doorstep are in high demand. And I could also add that the UAE region is one of the most emerging, considering the patient centricity and the current trends of the hospitals and healthcare. In 2020, deals in life science industry amounted to total value of $285 billion globally. This graph shows the total value of deals made in the life science sectors worldwide from 2013 to the first quarter of 2021. In the first half of 2020, investors deployed $16.55 billion globally across over 450 deals in biotech and life science subsectors. This is considerably higher than the same period in 2019, when investors put $13.4 billion to work across nearly 600 known funding rounds. It's not clearly a pandemic-inspired spike, but there's possibly a strong contribution factor. Certainly, the surge of COVID-19 therapies and vaccines has enhanced public interest in the inner working for biotech. The broad enthusiasm could extend to investors as well, and I could say that despite these challenging days for the investors and startups, healthcare and life science remains one of the most attractive sector to invest in nowadays. There are two scenarios of the UAE's longevity market development, and there are these scenarios are gray sky and blue sky scenarios. According to gray sky scenario, the longevity market in the UAE is projected to reach 23 billion in 2026. The main drivers of growth are increasing domestic demand and exports, as well as government support for all marketplaces, from big pharma corporations to small biotech startups. With the full fallout of COVID-19 still unknown, the UAE remains a highly sought-after investment destination for the foreseeable future. A raft of multinational pharma companies are placed at regional headquarters in the UAE thanks to country stability and openness, as well-developed infrastructure and its attractiveness for the top talent. And according to the blue sky scenario, the UAE longevity market is expected to reach 32 billion by 2026. Besides the main drivers of the growth of the baseline gray scenario, the expected boosting of growth in the pharma and biotech industries was taken into account to the projected figures. To achieve sustainable growth of the pharma industry in the UAE, government and IATFs have adopted a series of long-term plans. So such plans are Dubai Industrial Strategy and the Abu Dhabi Vision, for instance, portrays the pharmaceutical industry is one of the main priority subsectors for development due to the growth of prospects, export potential, and midterm and long-term economic impact. And also there are some more initiatives in the Sharjah Emirate, and I will talk about them later. I could say that more than 420 life science companies in the UAE were classified into certain broad categories, each of which has a unique approach to contribute to the life science ecosystem. The top three categories are clinics, diagnostics and laboratory category, pharmaceuticals, and fintech services. Companies in the clinics, diagnostic and laboratories category 90% offer innovative treatment and deep diagnostic services. Pharmaceutical firms they take 17%, are those that deal with pharmaceuticals, drug manufacturing and distribution. Companies in fintech services, which take 15% sector, other financial institutions, business finance and solutions to find lifestyle and social care. The majority of life science companies in the UAE are located in the Emirate of Dubai. The government of Dubai supports different innovations and establishes new life science innovative initiatives and ongoing basis. For instance, Dubai Science Park is a creative environment for the fosters development in the medical, wellness, and pharma sectors, with medicine, perfumery, and other labs and manufacturing products locally. So we can see that there is rather lack of life science companies in the Sharjah Emirate, and hope with the initiative of SRTIP accelerator, we can see more companies in the sector in this emirate. Most investors in the life science sector globally come from the Middle East region. There are 47 investors. We can see that United Arab Emirates are leading in terms of investment in life science industries, and as well as they are accompanied with Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, and altogether they are leading in terms of investments in the life science industries. While we can see that United States and United Kingdom are also one of the most interested investors, which also shows interesting opportunities for the startups coming from this region, because they can find their investors that are interested in this sector. So deep diving into the Middle East and North Africa pharmaceutical market. Since 2014, the Middle East and Africa pharmaceutical market size has increased by 36%, reaching 25 billions in 2019. The CAGR of the market is more than 5% per year. Meanwhile, the UAE market has grown faster than the average, and with a CAGR of 6%. So we can see that the UAE market is still smaller, considering to Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Egypt, Algeria, but it is growing in a bigger terms and trends. A number of well-established pharma companies are manufacturing and distributing pharmaceuticals in the UAE, pertaining to well-developed infrastructure and growth opportunities. Saudi Arabia pharmaceutical market was estimated to be worth more than 10 billion in 2021 and expected to grow at the annual rate of 7% over the next 6 years. Throughout 2020, many well-known brands have entered the Saudi Arabian market. The market of the life science industry in the Middle East and North Africa is one of the few categorized by strong and steady growth. Dubai is provided to be the location of choice of national and global brands and an attractive place to relocate human resources, because it is a commercial hub of MENA region. And also we expect more startups to grow here while the big brands enter in the Dubai market. The pharmaceutical industry in the UAE is projected to grow of CAGR of more than 6% to reach more than $5 billion in 2021. The industry could grow by 82% over in the next 9 years. The drivers of the growth will be the localization and production and increasing demand of the generic drugs. The UAE government, like many other in Middle East pharmaceutical markets, will push of the local production in the generic drugs as a part of campaign to lower medical costs and enhance supply delivery. While the UAE has a generic substitution policies in place since 2019, the country will increasingly rely on foreign investments and partnerships to meet rising local demand and maintain its position as a regional manufacturing and distribution powerhouse. The UAE pharma industry appears to be following a similar path to the rest of the region. It's rapidly developing and suits the changing requirements of growing population, which according to World Bank predictions is likely to reach about more than 11 million by 2030. Because of its future growth prospects, export potential, and mid to long-term economic impact, the UAE government and others have adopted a series of long-term plans and achieved sustainable growth of the industry. Also, I would like to speak about the UAE's fourth industrial revolution approach. The fourth industrial revolution is a technical revolution that merges physical, digital, and biological technologies to deliver a new and unprecedented product and services in the emerging sectors. The UAE's future is marked by the fourth industrial revolution, which is an important and influential milestone. It presents both extraordinary potential and a number of concerns that must be handled and effectively utilized. As a result, the UAE is speeding up its attempts to become the world's first open lab for experimenting with and embracing fourth industrial revolution technologies on a rapid pace. So we can see that the UAE's fourth industrial revolution strategy, the first of its type in the world, was created to give policymakers a practical framework for embracing and advanced technologies and transforming future obstacles into opportunities that can benefit the country's population. As a part of this fourth industrial revolution, I would like to speak about the UAE's House of Future study as an example of this approach. For example, cardiovascular disease and diabetes are extremely common in the UAE and throughout the Arab world. While the cohort studies have made tremendous contributions to scientific knowledge of the epidemiologics and cardiovascular disease and cancer, none have been done in Arab populations so far. To study the causes of these diseases and other diseases common to Emirates, we have established a prospective cohort study, the UAE House of Future study. It will be a resource for researchers throughout the UAE and the wider region with data accessibility for all research and will be of benefit to the local population. Among other initiatives, I would like to speak more about the Sharjah Emirates initiatives. So Sharjah is one of the 7 Emirates that make up the UAE. It is the first Arab city among 4,014 major cities from around the world and one of just 2 Middle Eastern cities to join the World Health Organization global network of age-friendly cities and communities. The 24 Sharjah government entities are successfully implementing 189 strategic initiatives and activities that they launched under 2017 and 20th year's strategic plan. And this makes Sharjah the first age-friendly city in the Arab world. So one of such initiatives that the Sharjah Social Service Department, Home Care Department, has provided medicines and medical supplies to the homes to the elderly and disabled in order to safeguard them and their families from the risks of visiting hospitals and healthcare facilities during COVID-19 risky time. As of April 12, 2020, the Home Care Department had revealed that within 5 days, medicines were delivered to around more than 1,000 elderly and disabled people from home care affiliates. The initiatives aim to meet the needs of patients during with the COVID-19 pandemic to prevent infections when going to hospitals to collect the medications. The satisfaction of the target group was measured by phone calls, and patients who did like the initiative will call again to take another appointment. So to sum up, I would like to speak about the key points of our report. We could say that in 2020, the market size of the longevity industry in the UAE was more than 19 billion. So in the grey sky scenario, it's projected to grow at least as fast as the UAE economy, so more than 3% yearly, with a CAGR of more than 3% to reach 23 billion in 2026. The main drivers of this growth was rising domestic demand, increasing exports, and strong government support for all market players, from big pharma corporations to small biotech startups. The blue sky scenario projects the growth of more than 8%, leading to longevity market size with 32 billion in 2026. Besides the main drivers of growth, we will be seeing the boosting growth of pharma and biotech industries and overall the life science industry in the UAE. The fourth industrial revolution marks a significant milestone to the future of the United Arab Emirates. It offers both unprecedented opportunities and several challenges that must be completely addressed. In our report, we studied and mapped more than 400 life science companies with more than 11 categories. So the main categories are clinics, diagnostic and laboratories, pharmaceuticals, fintech services, healthcare, IT systems, P4 medicine, medical technology, biotechnology, life insurance, femtech, management and consulting, and some others. We could say that the locomotive of the growth of the life science industry are the clinics and pharmaceuticals subsectors, and the UAE is focusing on drawing international pharmaceutical companies to establish the expand of their presence in the country. In addition to growing the domestic market, the UAE boasts a strategic location and sophisticated logistics infrastructure, and we can see that other Emirates, not only the Dubai Emirate, as well as growing the presence of the life science companies entirely. And to achieve this sustainable growth in the UAE, government authorities have adopted a series of long-term plans, and among of them are different strategies developed by Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah Emirates, as well as some others. And we are going to see even higher growth, that probably even more than 8% in the future. Also, I encourage you to learn and study our Open Access Longevity Industry Journal, which shows more than 400 pages, and you can see the link that you can access, and you can get all the information about the longevity industry in total. So thank you for attention. It was a pleasure to deliver this presentation, as well as I'll be glad to help answer all your questions. Thank you.